I'm Yes or No. A lot of you guys have been requesting that I talk about that exact moment that I got accepted to Harvard. I feel like you only love me for my brains. Alright, let's get this story started, shall we? So, what you need to know is that in high school, I applied to 8 different colleges. What a nerd! I applied to Stanford, the University of Southern California, Berkeley, the University of Wisconsin, Yale, Brown, Columbia, and Harvard. I applied to Stanford early decision, so when I got rejected, I spent the entire month of December in my room alone writing essays. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, except for my computer mouse. So pretty much every school that I applied to told me that I was gonna get my decision via email or online. But on Harvard's application, there was actually a box you could check that said, "Send me that sucker via snail mail!" or something like that. Obviously, I chose that option because I figured getting a rejection over email is a lot like someone breaking up with you via text. And me, I wanted a more intimate letdown. Choosing to get my decision via mail was actually the dumbest choice I could have made. I ended up going to Mexico at the exact time that Harvard was sending out their decisions. So I was not going to be at home to receive the news. And yeah, okay, I know patience is a virtue, but it is one I do not possess. So anyway, I get out to Mexico. By this time, I've already been accepted to USC and Wisconsin, so I'm pretty much on the California train. I pretty much committed that Katy Perry song to memory. California girls were unforgettable. Dang, dang, West Coast. These are the girls I love the most. So I believe that it was April 1st when I heard back from my first 2 Ivy League schools. Heard back from Yale first, and it was a resounding, "I'm sorry to inform you that." Like, what a cruel April Fool's joke, right? Surprise! You're not accepted to our school. Not kidding, we are not kidding. This is not a joke, please don't come. Basically, I just had this terrible feeling, like, as far as the Ivies went, that nothing was gonna work out. That night, I was waitlisted from Columbia. And to add insult to injury, I couldn't even get into Brown's portal online, so I couldn't even check to see whether or not I had been accepted or rejected at that point. So here I was, pretty much rejected from 2 things and too stupid to get into the 3rd. I mean, I'm pretty good at recognizing patterns. I could tell this was not headed any more good. And so the next day when I got accepted to Berkeley, I was ecstatic. I was out of my mind excited. I basically thought I was gonna be headed out to, California. Okay, no longer USC, but definitely gonna have that sun-kissed skin, sun-kissed tan, so hot it'll melt people's popsicles. So the Berkeley news for me was enough to hold me over until I could get home and see my Harvard decision. But I didn't have to wait that long. Foreshadowing 101. Take notes. So the next night I was in my room checking over emails, and this random email popped up from this woman named Ruth Connery. Her name's been changed because the internet can't handle the truth. And I was like, Ruth Connery? Wait, Ruth Connery? I'm like, isn't that the woman who gave me my Harvard interview? Oh my gosh. And I looked over to the right in the little subject line, and in it said, congratulations! Well, it said congratulations, but there were 3 exclamation points, so I imagined it said congratulations! And I clicked on it and started reading, and I said, oh my god. And my Aunt Tana was sitting there, she's like, what? And I was like, oh my god. And she was like, what? Like she was like, what is going on with my brain dead niece? I couldn't even say anything. I just passed the computer over to her. I'm like, Donna, I think I got into Harvard. You better believe that night we went out for steaks. No, and actually that night, all I wanted to do was be contemplative. I mean, think about it, guys. Everything I had known about my world had changed in a few hours. Minutes, really. I just kept thinking that because of getting into Harvard, it meant that I would be able to accomplish anything I wanted, to meet people who were achieving things that were so much bigger than I was, and just doing amazing things that I honestly never really thought I could do. that was the first time in my life I cried tears of happiness. Yeah, okay, so I had to open up the floodgates and I couldn't stop crying for all 2 weeks, but in the past. And to tie up loose ends, I did end up getting into Brown, but my reaction to that was, crap, now I have to make an actual decision. And then after 2 hours, I decided I was definitely gonna be a Harvard student. So there you have it. I'm yes or no. I'm a rising senior at Harvard. And that was a story about the decision that 3 years ago changed my life. Bye.